Our Made in America team is back, and there is news out of Washington, taking the challenge to the Pentagon. We've been asking the question, should America's fighting forces wear clothes and shoes made in America? Well, ABC's anchor David Muir tonight with a big decision coming, and the U.S. workers who say, let us do it. David.
That's right, Diane. As you know, we've heard this question from the very start from our viewers. Do American workers make those American uniforms? A 1941 law requires it, but tonight the loophole and the one item workers are hoping will soon be made in America.
Our troops in uniform all over the world protecting us and the American dream. That uniform, every part of it, made in America. And to get into those uniforms, our troops, far more fit than most of us. Even their gym clothes, the t-shirt made here, the shorts made here. But there's something afoot about their sneakers. The only part made overseas. Many tonight wondering, why is the federal government spending millions in taxpayer dollars on sneakers made someplace else? Could we find sneakers made here? Didn't take long.
So this is the sneaker lab.
New Balance among the companies making sneakers in America.
But if it says made in the USA, that means all 100%.
Watch here as she puts the sneaker into a steam machine.
So the shoe's actually loosening up there. Yeah, it's soft again.
Right. So now
ready for somebody's foot.
All it needs now is the sole, which comes next. So if we could find them, what about Washington? We called the Pentagon, and tonight they tell us the Department of Defense has heard from several U.S. shoe manufacturers saying they could produce a 100% American-made shoe. The Pentagon adding, we're evaluating their proposals. And on Capitol Hill, some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle now saying it's a no-brainer. We found Senator Susan Collins today among those pushing the Pentagon. She told me about the labels on the sneakers right now.
They're made in Vietnam, in China, all over the world.
She points out a 1941 law requires every part of the uniform be made in America, but that there's a loophole when it comes to sneakers. She also pointed out she's watched our Made in America series because back home,
I have heard the conversation change in America.
Fueled, she says, by the very workers in her home state. 3 New Balance factories where tonight they're sending us a message.
We can make it here!
They've also sent us the very prototype they've pitched to the Pentagon. They're not the only ones. Cap Shoes in Virginia, Wolverine in Michigan tonight, all saying we can do it here. Hoping Washington is listening. Well, back where they're making the sneakers tonight,
Made in America.
That ultraviolet pen, invisible ink, marking where the sole is glued to the sneaker. The customer never sees those markings, but we left a message anyway.
So the customer will never know that I wrote this.
Someone, somewhere, soon wearing sneakers with those 3 words, Made in America.
You make them for customers.
Yes.
The question is, will you make them for the troops?
I hope so.
You hope so?
I hope so.
A lot of people hoping so tonight. It's certainly not the troops who decide. Their families have been sending us great videos jumping in since we started Made in America. Tonight, this is up to the Pentagon. And a spokesman telling us in the last 24 hours they like what they're seeing with those proposals on their desk, Diane. In fact, tonight, New Balance telling us they'd be able to hire at least 200 new workers if they get the go.
That's one company, and we will be watching their decision. Thank you, David.